Hi, it's Paddy Hirsch at Marketplace. Today I want to talk about re-hypothecation. Sounds like some kind of a magical word, right? Something out of Harry Potter. So not magical at all, actually. You know, people on Wall Street, financiers, have a tendency to create these words that make it appear that they're involved in some kind of a black art. But actually, re-hypothecation is not a black art at all. It's something that a lot of us, many of us, get involved in every single day. So let's see if we can explain how it works. Re-hypothecation is, of course, it's like a retread of hypothecation. So we need to find out, first of all, what hypothecation is. So we've got like re-hypothecation. So what is hypothecation? Like I say, hypothecation is something that we're involved in every day, many of us. So let's take an example. Say, for example, my friend Helen, okay, goes out and wants to buy a car. Here she is, Helen. She wants to buy a car. So she goes to her friend Billy the banker, and she says, Billy, can I borrow $10,000 to buy a car, please? And Billy's like, okay, no worries. So he lends her $10,000. Okay, there we go, $10,000. Passes that across. Helen goes out, and she buys a nice little jalopy. There it is. And she drives around in the car. And of course, as we know, whenever we borrow something from somebody and we buy something like, in a situation like this, there's a car or a house, we know that the car or the house, the thing that we buy, is the collateral. So if Helen fails to make interest payments to Billy the banker, Billy the banker is going to step in and, you know, take the T-bird away, all right? He's going to take the car. Same if you had a house. If you borrow money to buy a house, the bank takes the house as collateral. You hold on to it. You live in the house. You drive around in the car. But if you fail to make your payments, then the bank comes and repossesses the house. So that's what this hypothecation means. It's based, the loan is made on the hypothesis that if Helen fails to make her interest payments, then Billy, if she hypothetically fails to make her interest payments, then Billy will take possession of the collateral, which is the car that she's driving around in. So all hypothecation is the fact that the borrower, okay, of the money actually holds on to the collateral until things go wrong. Okay, really, really simple. Not a black art at all, but of course they want to give it this fancy name to make it confusing. Okay, so what's re-hypothecation? Okay, that's like a retread of this loan. So this is the collateral here. Okay, so say for example, Billy the banker wants to go to Las Vegas. Okay, he wants to borrow $10,000 to go to Las Vegas for the weekend. All right, he's kind of short on cash. He's not liquid right now. He's got plenty of investments, of course, but he's not liquid, so he needs some money. So he rings up his mate Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy the shark. Here's Jimmy, and he says, Jimmy, I wonder if you can do me a favor. Can you lend me $10,000? All right, so Jimmy's like, all right, I'll lend you $10,000, but what are you going to give me in collateral? Okay, so here we go. Here's the 10K. All right, what are you going to give me in collateral, Billy? And Billy's like, well, don't have a lot, you know, around right now. I'm living in rented accommodation. You know, my car is a rental. I don't really have anything to give you. But what I do have is I lent $10,000 to Helen, and I've got this car as collateral that she's driving around in. Can I use that as collateral for this loan? And Jimmy's like, oh, okay, no worries. So what we've done is we've taken this hypothecation here, this hypothetical, and we've said, okay, well, we'll just pass that on to Jimmy. So Billy's now able to borrow $10,000 using the same collateral that Helen has got on her loan. Okay, I know that sounds kind of confusing and crazy, and maybe it is magic after all. Okay, so this happens all the time in the securities business, right? This is what financiers are doing all the time. And in fact, during the financial crisis, they did it a great deal, especially in the UK, where you were able to re-hypothecate many, many times. Now, this may be ordinary in the securities business, but the danger is, of course, that if Billy goes bust, okay, and he hasn't got anything to lay hands on, then how does Jimmy get his payment? Because if Helen, you know, maintains making her payments, you know, and doesn't have to give the collateral back, then suddenly it means that Jimmy is fresh out of luck, having lent that $10,000. And so that's a problem with re-hypothecation, is that if the middleman goes bust, then suddenly you lose access to the money, and it can actually cause a real problem for the end lender, and leave poor old Jimmy there, whoever the end lender is, sitting around wondering where his money is, and very badly needing a drink.